The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets concluded their final practice until training camp opens at the end of July. Minicamp is in the books. Nick Faria was there. He's going to join us to break down the top takeaways from the final practice of the Jets offseason. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
They don't believe that they're the same old Jets.
I am 100% not falling for them again.
I think you've got a guy that's in love with the sport of football, and it was taken away from him.
I think it's going to be a mess.
He is in a point of life where he understands the pressure.
This team is in a position to win a championship.
3 games in 11 days to start.
I think they have the best roster arguably in the division.
Whether you love me or hate me, we are must-watch TV. Everybody knows that.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jets fans. Welcome in, everybody. Smash the like button before we move forward. And, of course, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Joining us right now is a man this audience knows quite well. He covers the New York Jets for like 7 different outlets these days. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live on his ride back to Queens after attending minicamp, Nick Faria. What's up, Nick?
How's everything going, Jake? All you lovely fans out there. Beautiful day for football. Beautiful day to talk some Jets.
All right, so you were there today. You didn't see Aaron Rodgers. You didn't see Hassan Reddick. But from what you did see, Nick, give us the biggest takeaway from being at minicamp today.
Well, I'll give you 2 right away. First off, Garrett Wilson. I said last year that he was going to set the target record set by Michael Thomas just a few years ago. I think that he's going to shatter that this year because he was absolutely phenomenal today. He made 2 big catches down the near sideline against DJ Reed. One of them was an over-the-shoulder catch on a beautiful ball thrown by Tyrod Taylor. The other one was a juggling fingertip catch against Reed in a 2-minute drill. He looks like the best overall player right now on the Jets roster. Garrett Wilson, buy his stock right now because he is going to be a phenomenal pick throughout the regular season, whether it's in fantasy, whether it's in dynasty, whatever it is. He's been absolutely phenomenal. The second one, a lot of people are high on Olu Fashanu, and I am as well. I think he had a very good day, but the best rookie of this class right now is not Fashanu. It's not Malachi Corley. It's the Canadian football player, Quantez Stiggers. Stiggers today with an interception in practice, returned it for a touchdown. He's had multiple interceptions in practice. He has been, without a doubt, universally the best rookie that the Jets have had so far in this camp. He has been a lockdown corner. He is going to make things very, very interesting for New York over the next year because with DJ Reed, Michael Carter, and Sauce Gardner all looking for contract extensions after the 2024 season, you're going to have to pay 2 of them. And I think the odd man out is going to be Reed. He sounds today like he knows he's going to be the odd man out. And with Stiggers looking as good as he has, it's really going to be a no-brainer for the Jets to sit there and let one of these guys walk in free agency because he looks that legit right now.
You know, it's interesting because I know it's early, but all the early reports on Stiggers, Braylon Allen, Olu Fashanu, Malachi Corley, is that they might have had another, I'm not going to say a historic draft class because nothing could top 2022, but it does feel like at least the early returns are very, very positive with this rookie class. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think far more positive than last season because last season felt like less expectations. McDonald wasn't really going to play a lot. You hoped that Tippmann wasn't going to have to play, but if he did, you hope that he would be able to produce right away. Abanaconda, Warren, these project guys, they took a flyer on a lot of projects last year. This season's been a lot different. This draft cycle was about proven players that can develop quickly and produce at a very high level. And you're seeing that right away, whether it's with Stiggers. Some scouts said that he could have gone in the 3rd and 4th round. He went to the Jets in the later 5th. He was an absolute steal. Jordan Travis, we haven't really heard of him recently, but that's because they haven't really given him an opportunity as he recovers from his leg injury. But again, Fashanu is good. Braylon Allen's looked good. Isaiah Davis is another name that you have to look out for because he has looked very, very strong. Really, the one rookie that you haven't really seen is Jalen Key, the safety from Alabama, that has really stood out to this point. But that's not really a bad thing to say because he is Mr. Irrelevant. It may take a year or so for him to develop. This has been a very, very strong start for the rookie class. And I do mean start because there's no shoulder pads. There's no real physical play. We won't really know how strong this group is until the physical play begins, because with Corley, his strength is yards after the catch. Fashanu has always been an aggressive offensive lineman. I think if the early returns are strong, that means that the later returns are going to be even stronger.
Specifically with Olu, expand on what you've seen from him, because look, Tyron Smith, we all want him to play 17 games. That just doesn't feel like that's going to happen given his history. So, you're going to see Olu at some point. What have you made of his performance and what the Jets have said about him? I know Salah said this morning the plan is to strictly play him at left tackle going forward.
Yeah, they want to keep him at one position to start, which I completely agree with. You don't want to overwhelm a rookie right away and hurt his confidence. But the one thing I saw, and I took a video of this yesterday at Tuesday's practice, you look at the film difference between Fashanu and Tyron Smith, and you see Smith is a little more polished. He's more balanced overall. There's less of extra steps, extra movement, and they're trying to eliminate that right now at Jets practices. But I can tell you the Jets are very, very impressed with what they have from their rookie tackle. I think that if they didn't have Tyron Smith, if they didn't have Morgan Moses, they would be more than confident, more than willing to start him right away to begin the 2024 season. But this position group, this offensive line group, is now a luxury. One of the other main takeaways I have from practice today is they were mauling people down the sideline. There were at least 3 or 4 different plays where running backs had massive holes that I thought I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line at one point. They were just that impressive throughout this running game. John Simpson looked really good. Carter Warren looked really good as well. So you've got the depth that you haven't really had in recent years when you're talking about the Jets offensive line. And it really does start with Fashanu and Fashanu, however you want to say it. He has looked very, very strong early on. There's just a couple of small things they want to nip in the bud right away.
When you look at, the depth, they actually have depth at the quarterback spot. Tyrod Taylor, baby, a legitimate backup who got a chance these last 2 days to be QB1, which, let's be real, could be something we see at some point in the regular season if, God forbid, there is an injury to Aaron Rodgers. So Tyrod gets an opportunity to be the guy these last 2 days. Evaluate his performance over these last 2 days you saw him in person.
I think the best way to describe it is it was a very Tyrod Taylor practice. No real major chances, no real deep shots unless it was absolutely there. Dinking and dunking down the field. You know what you're going to get with Tyrod Taylor. You're going to get a guy that doesn't make mistakes, doesn't take chances either, which sort of caps off how far that he can go. But when you talk about a backup quarterback, the Jets got the best one available in free agency in him. You hear him talk to the media, very professional, understands what the assignment is, understand what his role is. There is no heightened expectations of a former second overall pick being behind a future Hall of Famer. This is a veteran backup who's had experience as a starter. If you need him for 2 games, he can get you a couple of wins here and there. He is exactly what the Jets have wanted so long at the quarterback position for the backup spot. He looked really good at practice today. Didn't really throw any incomplete passes. The one pass that I thought was a beautiful throw was the one to Garrett Wilson over the shoulder. It was either going to be a completion or an incomplete pass, and he threw that beautifully. So he does have the potential to push the ball down the field. It's just that he doesn't want to take chances. So I thought he's exactly what you expect from him from watching him over the last decade as a backup quarterback. and he is exactly what the Jets have been hoping for at the position.
That play that you referred to, the Jets actually posted it across their social media. So you could see it, Jet fans, if you want to see that play that Nick's referring to, the Tyrod pass to Garrett Wilson, who, if you're just joining us, Nick talked about Garrett Wilson having a monster day today at training camp. And I'm sure Garrett Wilson, by the way, Nick, is thrilled that if, God forbid, something happens to Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor is a professional that could throw him the football if and when Tyrod needs to play this year.
Well, and I think I'll kind of add this as well, where people will debate whether it's right or wrong that Aaron Rodgers was here at minicamp or not. I'm on the record saying that it's really no big deal. However, Robert Saleh kind of put his foot in his mouth with that. But at the same time, if you're looking for a situation to show that the Jets are going to be okay and being able to work with the backup quarterback to prove that kind of helps them out in the long run. So this really isn't the worst thing in the world that Aaron Rodgers had an event over the last couple of days, because there's some quality work that Tyrod Taylor is getting now that he would not have been getting if he was backing up Aaron Rodgers. So glass half full, as I always like to say. I always like to push that as a Jets reporter. I certainly think that Taylor looked good, and certainly a sign of positive things to come for the franchise if they can rely on this guy for 3-4 games a year.
If you're watching this live, hit the like button. If you're not watching this live, guess what? Still hit the like button. Comments, questions for Nick, super chats will cut the line. Nick was at both mandatory mini camp practices, so he could give you a clear-cut evaluation on what he saw. I want to ask you about the new kickoff rules, Nick. I know Brant Boyer spoke today, and he had some interesting comments. One of them that caught my attention was Brant Boyer said that he expects kickoff returns to increase to over 60 to 70% this season. Saleh had previously said they expect at least 100 kickoff returns this year. Watching the new kickoffs in person, what did you make of it? And who are some guys that we should be looking at on this team to fulfill that role?
Well, it's going to be really interesting. That might be the one position battle that is yet to be determined. We kind of know the position battles and who's going to win them. Xavier Gibson's going to get his chance in the slot. We know that Mike Williams, when healthy, is going to be the number 2 receiver. We know that Chuck Clark and Tony Adams are most likely going to be the top safety group, and we know that there's going to be a rotating cast along the defensive line. The one thing we don't know is that kickoff returner. Gibson seems supplanted as a punt returner, but they brought in Tariq Cohen, who has looked very, very good in camp. They brought in this guy from the Miami Dolphins, and I'm blanking on his name right now, Jakeem Grant, I believe, who's also an all-pro. And you still have Gibson as a returner as well. So they are experimenting with a lot of different guys. That is by design. If people were surprised that they signed both Cohen and Grant recently, do not, because that was, as Boyer mentioned, something that they wanted to push. They wanted to see different guys with this kind of rule change. So I think this is going to be a battle that's going to come down right to the final day of training camp, where they're essentially going to give the job to either Cohen, Grant, or Gibson. And if they want to get up an extra roster spot for an offensive lineman, that could be the death nail for Cohen and Grant on this roster. If they don't, there's certainly an opportunity for a player like Cohen to develop, because he looked very, very fascinating. He had to bust it off a long touchdown run at one point in practice, where that speed that made him a Pro Bowler in Chicago was certainly on display. So certainly a player to watch for as well. I know Boyer's very excited about all these different guys. But when you talk about trust, when you talk about coordinators, we can complain about Nathaniel Hackett all we want, but Boyer, you talk about Ulbrich, these are the guys that you should trust as Jet fans, because they know what they're doing and they have a plan and working on that plan right now.
Speaking of coordinators, I saw this from Connor Hughes. He was the first to note that Todd Downing, during one of the 2-minute drives today at minicamp, he was calling the plays, not Nathaniel Hackett. Now, I saw a follow-up tweet from Connor Hughes of SNY basically saying that the Jets wanted to have all their coaches do a bunch of different things during these practices to kind of get a different feel, different perspective. But let's call it for what it is. Todd Downing's called plays before. We know Nathaniel Hackett is certainly subject to criticism based off of last year. I think that was interesting that he was in that spot where he actually got a chance to call some plays. What did you make of that?
I didn't really make anything of it, mostly because if Hackett was off to the side, it'd be one thing. But he was talking with Tyrod Taylor specifically. So it really looked to me as though they understood the kind of plays that they wanted, Towning and Hackett, but Hackett wanted to get some one-on-one with the quarterback, the QB1 of the day. So, again, that's something that could certainly change if it's Downing calling the plays one game, if it's Hackett another time. But I know that the Jets want to make this a collaborative approach. And part of the collaborative approach is making sure that the quarterbacks all sign up on what the plan actually is. So ultimately, I think that this is a fun little nugget to have for a practice like this. But Hackett, to me, is still going to be the play caller this season. And having that one-on-one FaceTime with someone like Taylor, obviously with Rodgers down the stretch, that's only going to help them in that camaraderie even more.
When you look at some of the comments made by players today, I think Mike Williams saying his plan being ready for week 1 is certainly encouraging. They said yesterday he's on the Breece Hall timeline. We can only hope he has as good of a season as Breece just did coming off his ACL injury. What do you think of Mike Williams and the fact that he says he wants to wear a winter beanie year-round?
I mean, personally, I think he's crazy. I've never been much of the Florida heat. I've never been much of the California heat. I love the cold weather. Wearing a beanie around in the middle of June, surprising to me overall. But you mentioned Mike Williams and his overall skill set. He talked about that today. He talked about the fact that he can win jump balls, and Tyrod Taylor spoke about that as well yesterday. His ability to run different routes in the route tree, something that the Jets haven't really had in a number 2 receiver in close to 7-8 years. So he is the kind of complete receiver the Jets have been looking for, opposite of Garrett Wilson. He is quintessentially the perfect guy for this. Very confident in who he is, really happy to be here. And of course, you talk about Aaron Rodgers, you talk about the relationship that he's going to have. He's already said, very much like Tyron Smith, whatever Aaron wants, I'm going to do for him, because this is Aaron freaking Rodgers, and we're going to try and make this thing work. So everyone understands the role at hand. Everyone understands the expectations, and Williams is no stranger to that. He was with a Chargers team that was competitive over the last few years. His ACL injury, of course, was a big factor in them not making the playoffs last season. But this is a very successful guy that is healthy, gearing towards the start of the regular season. That certainly should be a big year for him and the Jets.
Yesterday, Nick, I received a $500 super chat from the great Peter Castro. His question: is Allen Lazard showing a pulse? So that was yesterday. We need an Allen Lazard pulse update for today, because our guy Peter Castro paid $500 for the Lazard update.
All right, so I'll give you the good and the meh. And I think it's meh because it's mini camp and there's no shoulder pads. The good is he caught a touchdown pass. He caught every single pass that was thrown to him today. There was a couple of routes in 11-on-11 and 7-on-7 work. He ran a good out route that resulted in what would have been at least a 10-yard completion. And like I said, he caught a touchdown pass in the 2-minute drill. He was left wide open. Great stuff. The meh part is that outside of that, wasn't really getting open. He lost a 50-50 ball to Quantez Stiggers in the back of the end zone in the 7-on-7 drill. That I thought that, listen, if you're Allen Lazard, you're making $10+ million a year, you got to be able to come up with that catch. Whether the ball is overthrown, underthrown, whatever it is, you got to be competitive. And him being unable to win that one-on-one battle, not the greatest of signs, even with Stiggers playing as well as he has. So Lazard, I would give him, if I were to give him a grade for minicamp overall, I'd give him a solid B. He, again, like I said, he caught everything. That's the positive, because he has been known to struggle with drops. He has struggled to get open, caught a touchdown pass today. Not all of it is great, because he needs to stand out, and he hasn't really done so yet, kind of like what Xavier Gibson and Garrett Wilson have done. But he's certainly gotten better over the weeks after hearing that he has struggled mightily in OTAs.
The hope is that Rodgers could obviously revitalize him. And look, I mean, you're asking him to be maybe a number 4 wide receiver on this team, if you think about it, if Mike Williams is healthy.
Yeah, and listen, number 3, number 4 wide receiver, wherever you want to put him, that really is going to be up for debate. But the only question to me about Lazard is going to come down to his focus. He's a veteran. He's a great locker room presence. The coaching staff loves him. Robert Saleh called him in the receiving room. But all of that's fine and dandy. If you can't catch the football, if you can't get open, if you can't take advantage of your opportunities, what good is being a second coach on the field right now? So I think his roster spot is going to be safe at this point simply because of the money that's being guaranteed to him this season. But ultimately, it's certainly a positive sign. Again, like I said, I want to stay glass half full on most of the cases here, but certainly needs to be more he needs to stand out more if he's going to be willing to be as dependable as some of these other guys are.
Once again, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Nick Faria as he makes his drive back from Jersey to Queens after covering Jets minicamp the last 2 days. Let's get to the Hassan Reddick situation. You know all about Hassan Reddick. You are very close to the situation with the Eagles. He's now, of course, with the Jets, and he did not show up for mandatory minicamp. Your thoughts on that and ultimately how you see it playing out from here?
All right, so I apologize already because this is going to be a little bit of a diatribe, but you have to start from the beginning. And the beginning is him signing a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2022. That free agent deal was seen as a steal then, and it was seen as an absolute bargain when he had a career-high 16 sacks in 2022. After that season, people forget, he held out of voluntary workouts with Philadelphia because he wanted to rework his deal. He did not show up to minicamp. He did not show up to OTAs last season. He showed up for training camp because he knew that he was still under contract and he didn't want to lose out on millions of dollars worth of fines. So on that metric alone, when the Jets made this trade, they had to have understood that Reddick is a player that is willing to sit out of some of the lesser meaning workouts in lieu of trying to get a new deal. When you hear from Connor Hughes, when you hear from these guys saying that the Jets were surprised, I'm not saying they're wrong. What I'm saying is it's foolish for the Jets to think otherwise simply because he's already done this before. Reddick has already sat out looking for a new deal. So the idea that this is panic mode right now for the Jets, I think is foolish. I think it's also foolish for the Jets to assume that Reddick would show up based on a conversation and agreement that they had once the trade was made, that he would play on his final deal. Because again, he's 29 years old. He's coming off one of 4 straight 10-plus sack seasons. Only Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, and TJ have had that number over the last 4 years. So he is in very rare company. So he's wanting his worth. He's the 19th highest paid edge rusher in the National Football right now. By any metric, even at 29 years old, he is seriously. The Jets can be surprised all they want. This was a foregone conclusion that was always going to happen. And I can tell you this from the beginning. Because, again, he wants a new deal. He has always wanted a new deal. That idea has not changed, and it will not change until he is made one of the higher paid defensive players in the National Football League. Now, there is good news to this side of the coin, because as much as Reddick wants to be paid like a top player, not many 29-year-old edge rushers get paid $25 to $30 million. So my expectation, and I think this is going to happen over the next 40 days, is that the Jets are going to create cap space with the restructured deals of Quinnen and Quincy Williams. They're going to find more money to give to Reddick, and they're going to come in what we call a bridge deal, which is a short 2-year deal. You give Reddick the kind of money that he wants, and you have an opt-out clause after this season that will allow Reddick to hit free agency next year. There may be some void years attached to it, whatever. But Reddick is going to get his money. He's going to get his guaranteed money. The only question is going to be if. It's not if, it's when. Because he's going to get the deal. He's going to get the money. The Jets have to create that cap space because they don't right now. But it's certainly something that should not be concerned for Jets.
Did we lose Nick? Nope, we got him. Nick, can you confirm that you're okay, I'm glad you could hear me. Is it true, or maybe you could dispute this, that you're doing 80 and 25 right now?
Yeah, see, I'm on the bridge now, so everything's slowing down, but I am not doing 80 and a 25. I am just efficiently getting home is the best way that I can describe it.
I love it. New York City traffic. There's nothing like it. We're talking with the great Nick Faria. He, of course, at minicamp these last 2 days covering the New York Jets. We will get back to our conversation with Nick in just a second. Today's Jake Asman Show, though, is presented by my friends at Underdog Fantasy. Folks, take out your phone right now. and download the Underdog Fantasy app. There is baseball you can make picks on. There's an NBA Finals game tonight you can make picks on. Have fun with Underdog, and it's never too early to start drafting your fantasy teams, fantasy football, best ball leagues. Set it and forget it. Underdog Fantasy. Check it out. Once again, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code Asman. That code will get you a deposit match up to $250 at a 50% rate. That's a 50% deposit match up to $250 with Underdog. Shout out to everyone who uses Underdog. We've had a blast since they came on as a sponsor almost a year ago. So check it out, UnderdogFantasy.com, or once again, easiest way to use the app is to, as I just said, download the app. So app or website, telling you the app is great. Easy to use, easy to learn if you've never played before. Promo code Asman when you sign up. Let's bring Nick back on our show right now. Once again, folks, if you have a question for Nick about a specific player or something that occurred, write it in and we will bring it up on the screen. Nick, is there anything that I missed as far as recapping today's events that you definitely want to hit on here? I feel like we did a lot, but I'm sure there's something that we could still get your insight on as someone who was there these last 2 days.
Yeah, I'll give you a little joke that came in today, and it came courtesy of myself. DJ Reed speaking to the media today. He was very, very succinct. He understood and kind of realized that. Listen, he mentioned that he was going to be prepared to hit free agency. He's not going to hold out, so the Jet fans can stop worrying about that. But then I asked him, because I don't know if you guys remember, but last season Reed was the one that made the comment about him believing that the Jets defense can be as good as the 1985 Bears. And I kind of brought that up today, and the first thing he said was laughingly, chill out. I know I made a mistake, that kind of thing. But Reed's such a great guy, really good to talk to. And he mentioned sort of rebrand on the defense. They're not talking about comparing themselves to the all-time greats. They want to put their money where their mouth is and actually produce at a high level before they're actually talking. This is a very, very focused and driven defensive group right now. And it's also going to look a little different. Now, I'm not sure how much of it is going to be different once the games actually start, but Robert Saleh kind of alluded to this. DJ Reed kind of alluded to this, where they are tinkering with some different changes going into the new season. And they're still going to run their typical cover 3. Sauce Gardner, they're going to allow to travel throughout the year against particular matchups and particular wide receivers. But there's going to be a wrinkle of sorts to the Jets defense. I'm not really sure what it is. I think we kind of saw it today a little bit, but it really depends. And I really want to see what happens in training camp, because what it looks like today could be completely different in 40 days. But the Jets are certainly looking for ways to alter their defense in a way that is going to make them more dominant. I think they're going to showcase Quincy Williams a lot more than just what he's been as an outside linebacker. So potentially that's something that Jet fans can look forward to going into the new year, where this defense that everyone talked about at times being susceptible to the run and struggling against particular passers because they run one particular coverage night in and night out, that may not be the case this season, because it sounds like they are looking to alter some things in the long run.
Nick, I'll ask you this question again before week 1, but if you had to predict the Jets record for the 2024 regular season, what's your record prediction?
It's still 12-5. And I have been pounding the table the last few years that it will be 12-5. It's going to be 12-5. But it comes down to this. The Jets last season did not have a number 2 wide receiver. They had 13 offensive linemen injuries, 13 different changes. They had 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, a top defense in the secondary, but a run defense that was very, very susceptible last year. And they finished 7-10. It's not like they went 3-14. It's not like they went 5-12. They went 7-10, and they lost 3 games because they did not put over 20 points, which is around the league average. Aaron Rodgers coming in, even Tyrod Taylor coming in, it changes the conversation of what the expectations are. If Aaron Rodgers is the starting quarterback last season, do they still go 7-10? Probably not. I think 10-11 wins is more than fair based on how the games actually looked last season. And I think also with the addition of Hassan Reddick, with the addition of Tyron Smith, who has looked excellent so far in these practices. Let me tell you, I've seen Tyron Smith play for a very long time. I have hated that guy as a football fan for a very, very long time. He is as legit as they come, just an absolute brick wall at the left tackle position. It's very hard for me to say anything less than 12 wins because the schedule, there's no real gauntlet that they had to go through like last year. There's no real matchup that worries me because they have the better quarterback in most of these games. This is a Jets team. I said it before. Connor Hughes, I heard kind of say this as well. This is one of the more talented Jets rosters that we have seen in decades. And the fact of the matter is 12 wins may be the floor for this team if everyone stays healthy.
So you don't think Aaron Rodgers missing 2 practices in June is going to derail the Jets season like many in the national media have said it will?
Listen, and I'll preface this by saying this because I obviously didn't jump on with you yesterday, and I've kind of been saying this all day today. There is nothing wrong with a 40-year-old quarterback, a future Hall of Famer, being treated differently than 28, 27, and 22-year-olds. There's nothing wrong with it. Tom Brady did it with Tampa Bay. Peyton Manning did it with Denver. When you come to a new place and you're over 40 years old and you've put in the work of over 20 NFL seasons, you are allowed to skip a couple of days of mandatory minicamp because it just does not matter. Now, the one thing I'll say in that regard is it doesn't matter. Oh, this is all going to be blown away by the time training camp starts. I felt that Robert Saleh was foolish in his wording because all he had to say was, Aaron Rodgers is away from the team. He let us know about it months ago. That's it. And this is a non-story because he communicated with the team. This was already scheduled in place, and we don't have to worry about fines or anything else. The fact that he said inexcused, which everyone understands as unexcused, and also that he was subject to fine, that's where the media circus comes in. So while I think that Robert Saleh was fine in how he worded everything, the fact that he used that verbiage, the fact that he went down that rabbit hole is the reason why this became a story in the first place. I thought it was very foolish for him in that spot, but there's nothing to say that Rodgers is wrong. There's nothing that Rodgers did here that he should have done differently. He let the team know months ago. He's away for minicamp. It's not the end of the world. This is going to be a non-story in 40 days because once training camp starts, no one's going to be worried about him returning to practice. They're going to be worried about Hassan Reddick's contract and if he's actually there.
Nick, well said. Thank you for being one of the few people that covers the Jets that actually can just call it how it is. We appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, super chat from Chris M, who says, Faria, greater than Rossini. Yeah. Let's see. Shout out to Angelo. He became a channel member before the show even began. Love to see it. And wow, Nick, I mean, the Jet fans are excited with your commentary. Addison has gifted 5 channel memberships, baby. Known, Dano, Jet, Kingmaker, Jat, 10-7 PMG. You guys are all officially as maniacs, courtesy of Addison. All right, comments, questions, super chat. Speaking of Dano, he writes in, Nick, do you think the Jets are a top 3 roster in the NFL?
I mean, I love Dane because he keeps giving me some great questions, whether it's on your show or my show. It's ridiculous. I don't think they have a top 3 roster in the NFL right now. And I will preface this by saying I think they're top 5, but would I put them up there right now with the 49ers, the Chiefs, and then maybe a combination of Dallas and Philly, whoever you want to put in there? I still think I need to see a little bit more on the practice field before I make that claim. But again, top 3 is the elite of the elite. I think they're a top 5 roster right now. I just wouldn't put them in top 3.
Are they the top team in the AFC East?
Yes. And that's not even up for debate for me. You look at everything. You know, Josh Allen, is he better than Aaron Rodgers right now at this stage of his career? You can make the argument. But is Aaron Rodgers better than Tua? Absolutely. Is he better than Jacoby Brissett? Absolutely. And then you look at the roster top to bottom. The Bills don't have the top 5 defense the Jets have. Their receiving core is very, very young now. This is a no-brainer. The expectation should be that they run away with this division. As good as Tyreek Hill and Miami's offense is, their defense is elite. The Jets' offense is a lot better than it was last season. There is no excuse now for them to lose the division because they are just so much more talented than the rest of these teams.
This is a good question here from Jay because of your tie-in with the Eagles. Is Mekhi Becton going to make the Eagles roster?
He is not only going to make the Eagles roster, but there are some conversations where he is actually be the starting right guard for the team once week 1 begins. Now, that may come as a surprise to some of you because, as we all remember from last season, Mekhi Becton made a big show that he was unwilling to play any other position outside of left tackle. Essentially, what I have heard is he didn't really trust Keith Carter, and he didn't really trust what the Jets were doing with him. He comes to Philadelphia in free agency, and he looks at a guy like Jeff Stoutland and says, this is the pinnacle of offensive line coaches. If he can make me into a top player, I am going to get a massive free agent bag, whether it's at guard or tackle anyway. So I might as well take my chance with the best offensive line coach in football and see where that goes. And so far, he has been very, very strong in OTAs from what I have heard. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions of what's it going to look like when he puts the pads on. Is he going to be able to stay healthy and stay in shape for an entire season? But right now, it's all positive in Philadelphia when it comes to Becton.
Nick, excellent job out of you. Appreciate you carving out 36 minutes and change for us during your ride home. Hopefully the traffic's not too bad and you make it to your destination soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Nick Faria. Read his work. He's covering the Jets for Athlon Sports, Pro Football Network. Best way to find his articles is just to go right to his X account or Twitter account, and you could do so by going to @Nick_Faria1720, and you could follow him there for more Jet content. Appreciate Nick for joining us. Thanks to Robbie Sabo, who joined us yesterday. So we have fulfilled our duty of having somebody on the show the same day that the Jets had a practice that was open for the media to view. So appreciate everyone who's tuned into these shows. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We tried to go live as quickly as we could with people who were there to give you the breakdown on the inside scoop on what's going down with the New York Jets. We'll get to some more of your calls coming up here. We'll get to more of your super chats. Today's show presented by my friends at Liquid IV. Folks, stay hydrated with Liquid IV and get 20% off your first purchase when you use my promo code. It's promo code Jake Asman at liquidiv.com. I can't say enough great things about Liquid IV. You pour the packet into your glass of water or your water bottle, and it is the equivalent of turning 1 cup of water into 3, 1 bottle of water into 3. If you work out, Liquid IV, perfect. If you're going to the beach this summer, you need to stay hydrated. Liquid IV, perfect. If you're drinking, what I always do is I put Liquid IV in a cup of water before I head out to the bar. And then when I come home, I chug my cup of water and stay hydrated. Liquid IV, promo code Jake Asman at checkout for a 20% discount. Shout out to Liquid IV for being a part of our show. All right, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Tom writes in that V-Man needs to endorse dude wipes. Now, here's the thing. For those who missed the first show on the day, a lot of controversy as to whether or not V-Man was calling us from the John. He denies it. Right now, we're calling it Poopgate. And for more on Poopgate, we go straight to the source.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully, he's not sleeping. Adios mio.
V-Man?
I said it. I'll say it again. I was not on the toilet.
You stand by it?
Yeah, no. I said that I was just, I was getting myself ready. The lid was down. I was just sitting on the lid.
So, but you were sitting on the toilet,
but not using it.
Now, this is actually, I don't think, helping your case, V-Man, because earlier you didn't say that you were sitting on the toilet at all. Now you're saying you were sitting on the toilet, and I find it hard to believe you weren't using the toilet.
I can tell you I was not using it. Because look, I can tell you that because I can tell you this right now. I'm a terrible liar, so if I was lying, you would know it.
What are your thoughts on people saying your calls are all gas, no brakes?
That's fine. That's real rich. You're like almost there. Like, tremendo un cocotazo. Almost there. Give me un cocotazo.
What?
Someone in the chat will translate what un cocotazo means. I'm not going to translate, but some other Spanish person in the chat will translate that.
Is Todd Bowles your favorite coach?
Come on, no.
Come on.
Like, yeah, Mr. Dull and monotone. Like, I don't even think he could have shown emotion if the Jets had actually won the game against Buffalo.
V-Man, do you think you're doing a good job trying to wipe this controversy away?
We just stop with the toilet puns. You want to know what? You want to know what? Just to take your mind off the toilet puns. Is I know a couple people in the chat have asked me about. I know you all make nods and jokes about my Puerto Rican heritage, and people have asked me in the chat my position on Puerto Rico and its status. So I'm fine. I'm going to clarify it for the record. My position on Puerto Rico and its status.
V-Man, would you say this is a stain on your legacy?
Come on, just we just knock this off for we just knock this off.
You got to be fair to the chat. You got to let us get it out of our system for at least a day. This happened this morning.
All right, but I'll put this on the record so people know my position. And I've seen some people in the chat ask me about it, so I'm going to clarify it using
about
famous.
Poopgate?
No, people have asked me. People people see my Puerto Rican T-shirts, my flag. They'll say, "Well, what's his?" There's also some Spanish people in the chat have asked me what my position is.
I don't think anyone's asking you about your position today. I think they're asking you about Poopgate.
Well, you want to know? Well, like I said, I've made it clear. I was not using the bathroom. I will make that clear again. And also on my position on Puerto Rico, I will give a famous quote in Spanish because Boriquín lama sus hijos a la libertad.
V-Man, thank you for the time today.
Right.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
I highly encourage everyone who missed the first show to watch V-Man's first call, and you decide, was he or was he not taking a crap when he called in this morning? Poopgate. You want to talk about controversies with the Jets. Rodgers missing 2 practices in June. That's not a real story. V-Man and Poopgate may be the biggest story involving the Jets besides Reddick's contract right now. Let's be real. Let's be real. Boomtown says, I wonder if V-Man's going to have another crappy call. Dun-dun-dun. David Hall says, hit the like button. If you think V-Man was on the crapper, hit the like button. If you don't think he was on the crapper, hit the like button. Super chat from Jetted Out. T-Man for Toilet Man. Dear God. Oh, man. David writes in, Green Bay let Rodgers have the reins, and look how that worked out. You mean going to the playoffs every year, winning a Super Bowl, going to the conference title game, I think 4 times? Oh, it worked out so poor. How did that work out? How did it work out? They drafted Jordan Love, and then he won back-to-back MVPs. How did that work out? I could only pray the Aaron Rodgers era with the Jets works out as well as it did in Green Bay. You kidding me, David? How did that work out? Amazing. You're talking to a fan who has not seen his team in the playoffs since Barack Obama was in his first term in office. I don't want to hear it. How did that work out? It worked out great. You know how many fan bases would kill to have the Packers level of success? I know they only had that one championship with Rodgers, but you're in it every year. As opposed to your season being over by Columbus Day, which for really the last 14 years, more years than not, that's been the case with this franchise. Carly writes in, making the guy fixing my internet watch this show, and he's becoming an Asmaniac. Oh, yeah. We love it. Shout out to all the Asmaniacs. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Rob, the Jet fan, is up next. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Jake. I'm going to start off by saying I'm putting everyone on warning. Anybody who has not paid for the Texan game, I'm coming to shake your ass down. You better pay this man or you answer to me. Okay? So don't let me tell you twice. That's first things first. Second of all, I'm just tired, Jake, of the crap with Allen and about Salah and stuff and T-minus and the season hasn't even freaking started. We haven't even played an exhibition game yet, a preseason game, nothing. And already starting with the crap. And Gary with the record that JD has on. You're right. He talks through two parts of his mouth. Like one part, he's saying that we have probably the best roster in all of the NFL, and then he's sitting there and talking about the record. Like, let's let this year play out, Gary. What the fuck? Pardon the French, but come on, man. And then then JJ with the little wise comments and stuff. These guys are like the Three Stooges. I mean, they just keep coming and coming and coming. Like, let's let the season play out. Nothing has even happened yet. And these people, these haters for Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous, Jake.
Well, I'll give you an example of this too, Rob. Like I saw a tweet this morning from the New York Post. I think it was an article that Costello wrote. And I didn't read it because I don't want to give them the click when I see like nonsense like this. So it was an article, I guess, that was posted yesterday. Jets have gotten the full Aaron Rodgers experience except the winning. It's time for that to change. Well, last I checked, you can't change that in June. Like, what do you want the Jets to do right now? Like, he got hurt on the 4th play of the year, missed the entire season. Until the new season starts, they can't actually start winning games.
You think? I mean, and you know what, Jake? They act like this guy's been injury prone all his life. Guy played with a broken thumb last year, still threw 26 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, which, let's be honest here, if we got that year from him this year, not saying I want a little bit better, but if we got 26-12 from him, do we not make it at least minimum to the playoffs? What do you think?
Look, if he gives you his 2022 stats, are they a playoff team? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm. But you know what, Jake? It's going to be much better than that because let me tell you one thing. The Jets are going to be somewhere in the middle. He's not going to be the MVP status. I don't think that's going to happen only because, excuse me, only because I think the Jets are going to do a lot of ground and pound. Henceforth, them going after Allen and Davis. They're going to do a lot of ground and pound, but yet they're going to throw when they have to throw because they have guys like Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams and stuff. So that's going to happen too. I think the Jets are really going to be a well-balanced offense this year. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be somewhere in the 30s as far as touchdowns, anywhere between 30 and 35. And I think his interceptions will not surpass 10. I really don't. So kind of that's where I think they're at or they're going to be. So if that happens, this is going to equate to 11 or 12 wins. And I agree with you. I think Miami and Buffalo definitely took a step back. So I think the Jets have a really good chance of winning the division and doing some big damage playoff time. Even if they don't win the whole Super Bowl, if they win the division and they get 2 or 3 rounds into it, I'll be extremely happy with that. Very happy with that.
Yeah, 100%, Rob. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you look at the roster, it's as talented of a team as they've had in years. To me, it's the most talented team in their division. The question's health. We understand that, but that's every team. That's every team in the league. This is not mutually exclusive to the Jets. So the Jets maybe have more, I guess, injury questions because Aaron's coming off this injury. Yes, but he doesn't have a history of injuries. And I go back to last year. The only thing we talked about with Miami was, well, Tua can't stay healthy. Well, he did. Ironically, he was one of the few guys that did stay healthy at that position. Look at the amount of injuries at quarterback last year across the league. Lamar Jackson, same thing. The previous 2 years, he hadn't stayed healthy and finished the season. He won the MVP last year when he was healthy. Like, you got to get some luck, which the Jets haven't had, but maybe, it's always darkest before dawn, right? Like, that's the hope now. And they have a contingency plan in place where if Rodgers does suffer an injury that keeps him out for 3 or 4 games, they're not screwed with Tyrod Taylor. If Aaron sprains an ankle and has to miss 3 games, they can go 2-1 and save your season. That's the difference. All right. Also, V-Man would appreciate it if we stop with the poop jokes in the comment section. So that's a public service announcement from our guy V-Man. All right. No more crap jokes. That's from V-Man. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line, ladies and gentlemen. It's time.
Well, you know that Al's a lying crap of crap. You should check out my new hat. The Jets are freaking awesome. Bobby.
Okay, I'm gonna stick up for my man, V-Man right now, guys.
Bobby, where's your hat? This is crazy.
I'm hot. So I want to tell the chat, please not pick on my friend V-Man anymore, or else you have to deal with me.
That's
and
right.
If you stop I hate people who type in chat and never call in because I think they're chicken. And I want to give a shout out to a special person in the chat. Carly. Hi, Carly. How you doing?
Oh, God.
Hey, you say, oh, God. What are you picking on me for?
I'm not picking on you. I don't know what's going to come out of your mouth, Bob.
I think she's gorgeous. I think she's awesome. I love her voice. I love her dog, Ace, right? Did I get that right? Ace?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What are you smiling for?
You're funny.
I try to be funny. I know she had a date last night.
Yeah.
Was it with you?
No, that's on Tuesday.
Really? You got a date with her Tuesday?
Yeah, you going to join us?
No. How could I? I live in Vermont.
Why not? Come down to the city for the day.
No, I'm not good. If you guys have a date, take good care of her, I hope.
All right. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. So, yeah, I was just thinking, right? So
what were you thinking about?
Aaron Rodgers played with the Packers, right?
Did he?
Now you got Williams. Isn't it funny that a Packer will throw to a Tampa Bay Buccaneer? I was just thinking about that when you guys were talking.
You talking about Mike Williams?
Yeah, Mike Williams, Tampa Bay.
Well, no, he was on the Chargers.
And Tampa Bay.
Mike Williams never played for the Bucs.
Oh, I thought he did. Okay.
You're talking about Mike Evans. You're confusing receivers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. And, okay, I missed what he said about Allen. How is he doing?
Allen Lazard? The
running back. Oh,
Braylon Allen. Positive review from Nick Faria.
How did he do running, though?
He made a couple plays today.
Oh, good. I want to see him really do good.
Bobby, this show is taking your fastball away from you. I can see how tired you are.
What do you mean fastball? I'm on my game. I'm picking.
No, normally you have more energy with these calls.
I'm sticking up for my friend V-Man because I like the guy.
Me too.
I told him, V-Man, the next time you're on the backstage, please turn the camera off and then your mic when you go into the bathroom.
So you do think he was taking a crap then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think so. I think he was sitting on the toilet seat like he said. But if he didn't want people to see that before he get on camera, just take the camera off. That's what I do when I have to go to the bathroom. Even on my show, I do that. But then Nick comes up with this saying, oh, how long is it going to take? If he takes longer than 2 minutes, it's a poop. No, I got other things to do, maybe. It's not just a poop, So, yeah. All right, so yeah, you can always show, but I want to stick up on my family. I love V-Man; he's my pal, and I love Rob from Glen Head too. Okay,
who don't you love, Bobby?
There's a few people I don't love. I'm getting to love Alan. Alan's a good guy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Wait.
Oh, I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Rogers met on more than just a hat on Bobby.
What a call there from Bobby Midnight. What a show. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Tyrone Garcia writes in, it's a blow to the head. Coco Tasso. I don't know what this is referring to. It's a blow to the head. I have no idea. Please clarify, Tyrone. More calls right now. Let's go to Luppy, who's up next. What's up, Luppy?
What's up, Jake? How you doing? We got to be positive, just like
I love it.
Jake. I brought him back out. That's what we're doing. Listen, this is all bullshit. All this stuff's not going to be minute like when we all done. We're going to fucking win. We're going to win. It's going to be 13 wins this year. I'm calling it right now. I tell you right now, we are a great team. Look at, just take a step back. Look what we have. Look at the talent we have. It's all up to Salah, and I told you Salah's on the clock. JD is doing the right thing. He will actually get Riddick signed, and it will be a non-fucking conversation.
Easy with the F-bombs, Luppy. Come on.
You know, I love my F-bombs. I'm sorry. I'm from New York. That's what we do. But I tell you right now, it will be a minute conversation because we're going to be in the AFC Championship game this year. I tell you that right now. That's my prediction. That's what we're going to do.
I don't think it's a crazy prediction. They have the talent to do it. Injuries being the biggest thing. But if you tell me they stay relatively healthy, meaning Aaron plays like a top 10 quarterback with this defense and the weapons he has and the special teams unit, they should be one of the better teams in the league. It's not crazy to feel that way.
Yeah. And I got to get him a yoga hat. That's what I got to do.
I love it. I love it. Appreciate it, Lumpy. Oh, man. Lumpy, dropping F-bomb after F-bomb. Come on, man. Let's go to Andrew. He's up next. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Jake. Shout out to Bobby. He overshared a little bit the other day about how long it's been. Struggle's real, man. We're pulling for you. Also, I would like to see pulling as our offensive line. It's still good to hear good stories of Jets offensive line in training camp. It's been very worrisome the last couple of years, and we kind of seen it turn out to be disaster. So it's so refreshing to see, talk about holes and how great the line's looking. If it is, man, we're gonna have a top 5 offense this year with Brees and Rodgers back there. The NFL is gonna be King's Landing, and Jets are gonna be Drogon. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna set it on fire if we stay healthy and everything works out the way we think it's going to. And Brees is going to be running through open holes, flying through. Then the defense is going to start dropping people down, and we go up top to Garrett. So I can't wait for this year. Let the season start and all this drama stop.
Yeah,
have a great one, Jake. And I remember Rob's got you collecting in the north. I got you collecting in the south.
I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you. We're doing good on collections. Don't worry. Don't worry. Appreciate everyone who has paid, and we're gonna have a great time. I will be announcing plans for a Jet-specific tailgate for the Texans game in the coming days. So stay tuned for info on that. Excited about this one. So you guys will find out on Patreon/Discord first before anyone else. As far as our last caller's point on the offensive line, I mean, if you think about it, the depth they have is something they haven't had in years. Olu backing up Tyron Smith. Carter Warren's had some really good practices, according to reports. He's now learning from Morgan Moses as his backup. I mean, the tackle depth is tremendous. And then you factor in Tippmann in year 2, Simpson's durability as an upgrade over Lakin, and just some of the other guys that got a chance to play last year that have experience year 2 in this system. Look, you can't survive the amount of injuries the Jets have had in that room the last couple of years, but if they could just get decent health this year at quarterback and O-line, they should be a really good offense. They have talent to do it, even with our concerns with the offensive coordinator, which are fair concerns. Let's go to B-Mac. He's up next. What's up, B-Mac?
Hey, Jake. First of all, before I have a little school speak with my fellow Packer fans, I just wanted to show you this jerk's face for me. Peter Bukowski, Packers beat some kind of dude. I hate him as a Packer fan. He drives me nuts, but yeah. See his face?
Yeah.
Terrible face. Punchable face.
I'll take your word for it.
Should him put him in the shadow room for me, all right?
I don't know him. I don't know who he is. He's irrelevant to me.
Yeah, he's terrible. But I just wanted to, say this to my fellow Packer fans. It's kind of like bothers me when Packer fans are saying, "Oh, well, Jet fans. Y'all got that diva Rogers. He's not our problem no more. Like this man gave us great Hall of Fame quarterback play for 20 plus years and won us a Super Bowl and 4 MVPs and kept us relevant in championship games. And you're just gonna just like shit on his name like that because he hurt your feelings when he left the Packers?
I mean, B-Mac, I'm not a Packer fan, so I can't speak to how the Packers fans feel about Aaron Rodgers. I could tell you, though, if I was a Packer fan and this guy brought me one of the happiest moments of my life, a Super Bowl, and was the MVP of the game, I would never have any ill will towards the guy. That's how I would look at it. The teams I root for, we don't have a whole lot of championships in my lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for Mike D's Nuts to drop the memberships for everyone. And folks, it has started. 5 channel memberships have been gifted by our main man, Mike D's Nuts.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Claudia Steinbeck, Vincent Mamoli. That is V-Man who just got a membership. How about that? Ty 91. TLC Gaming 1990. Sarah Zong. You all have received a channel membership courtesy of D's Nuts. Our guy Mike making it rain with another D's Nuts drop of memberships. All right, more calls right now. Continue to send in your super chats. I will get to this one from Tyrone, who clarifies that that's what V-Man told you in Spanish. It's a blow to the head. That's what V-Man apparently said in Spanish. All right, thank you for that, Tyrone. Appreciate that. Big Islander fan writes in, the media outlets are full of poop. Sick of the national media. I saw an article today about Aaron Rodgers being the most overrated player in the AFC East. I mean, that to me is just silly. How could Aaron Rodgers be the most overrated player? Honestly, if you want to pick a quarterback in the AFC East that's overrated, can I argue Tua's overrated? He never beats good teams. He's never won a game when the temperature's below 45 degrees. He was terrible in the playoff game last year. He was nothing until they got the best receiver in the league. Like, Tua is a good quarterback. He's about to be paid like he's a great quarterback, and that, I hope, happens because I don't think you're ever winning with Tua as far as winning big in the playoffs, winning a Super Bowl. I don't see it. So, I mean, overrated, please. Mike D's Nuts. He's done it again, people. Oh, baby. It's an explosion.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Yeah. If you hear your name called, you know who to thank. Mike D's Nuts is who you should be thanking. The following Jake Asman Show listeners are now officially Asmaniacs. Terry Lane, Michael Capolino, Central Valley Jets Sicano, Will Monahan, DG. You guys are all channel members. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. Addison making it rain with another 5 channel memberships that have been gifted. Let's go.
Money, 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 money.
AJ Mendoza, Andrew Villano, Kingsley Ailu, Michael Camarino, Copper John's Beard. That's our guy Tyson getting gifted a membership. Maybe I'll celebrate by putting some Copper John's Beard oil on me right now. Love it. Promo code Jake20, folks. CopperJohnBeard.com. Told you guys, Tyson, diehard Jet fan, watches the show every day. Love that. Thank you very much, Addison. We have added 20 new members in this one show. Really appreciate the support from the community. Let's get back to your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Tommy, who joins us now. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, my boy, how are you?
What's up, man?
Oh, man, another day, long day. I just want to say a quick story, and I promise it comes back to this, to the Jets and to you. All right, this morning, right, I hop on the Pat train to get into New York. And 6 o'clock in the morning, right, homeless, cracked out of their mind, man, dressed as a woman, and I have no problem, whatever your gender is, but it was the thing was cracked out of its mind, screaming and yelling, and sat down right next to me at 6 in the morning and almost fell onto me. So I get up, I had my headphones in, and I push them off of me, and he starts screaming at me. I'm like, all right, this is how the day is going to start. I get, as soon as I'm about to leave, I hop onto the train. I wrote it in the message, like, there's like 5 people beating on 2 people. They're all migrants. I'm thinking that they're getting jumped into a gang. I wasn't even going to, I just looked over. I'm like, what time is Jake Asman's show starting? Is it at 4, 3:30, 4, 5? I don't have time for this. I got to get on my subway and get home. But, major shout out to Bobby. That's really it. It was just a crazy, long, sweaty day in New York, and like people just left after right. You know sidewalk etiquette, Jake, right? I'm sure a lot of people know sidewalk etiquette in the city. If you're on your right, you stay to the right. If you're on your left, you mostly stay to your left. If I'm walking on the right side, you don't walk all the way into the left, start bumping into people, taking out your phone, looking at everything, right in the middle of the sidewalk. I'm like, oh my God, this is one of those days. But that's Jets patience. I guess you can say that to the fullest, because we have patience. I've had patience since '85, and our patience it's coming to an end this year. I'm tired. It should have been last year, but this is our year, and I'm loving every second of it. I'm loving all the highlights. I'm loving all you guys from Boy Green. Everybody that you got on Buffalo, I could say like a Tyson who you had on. It's crazy. Gumby, you got so many people. It's awesome. And Aaron Rodgers, baby, I'm tired of this staying healthy crap. Every quarterback needs to stay healthy. Aaron Rodgers is going to come out and show his true colors this year, and he's going to make every one of our wide receivers better. Our wide receivers, as long as they stay healthy, I don't think we need any wide receivers. All of our young guys are going to step up. We're going to be beasts. And yo, Bobby, keep doing your show. Mr. Bonesy, man, love you. Jake, you are the man. And JETS, Jets, baby. As always, let's go.
Tommy, enjoy the White House. All right, looks good
yes,
behind
sir.
you.
Thank you. Can't wait to be there, baby. We're going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be at the parade. I'll be at the White House. Let's go. My dad will pay for 5 or 10 of us as maniacs. My dad's been waiting since he's 70 now, so that's how long he's been waiting. He's one of the negative Jet fans though. Like he won't call into the show. He's like, same old Jets. Aaron Rodgers, he's 40. He has no optimism, no hope like the young Jet fans have. That's why we got our young guys out there. Connor, right? The young man Connor, the 12-year-old, his name is, right? We got the young breed of fans, and that's what we need. Healthy, 100%. We're going out. We're going to kill. We're not none of this same old Jets shit. It's over, the same old Jets. We're going to put a stand this year and only keep moving forward, baby. Let's go. Keep doing you, Jake. I love you, brother.
Tommy, appreciate it, man. What a story. Sounds like a typical day in New York. I mean, let's be real. Appreciate the call, Tommy. Hit the like button. What a call. What a bunch of calls we've had today. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. We have one here from Dre. Dre, I am questioning everything about how you spend your money. You owe money for the ticket that I reserved for you. You paid for one. You've then proceeded to spend at least $20 today, which I appreciate. Don't get me wrong. But why not save the super chat money and just pay me $135 for the ticket? In fact, I'm just going to bring you on because I see you're on hold. Dre, what's the deal here? What are we doing here? You got to get like a financial advisor. This doesn't make any sense.
No, see, it all comes from different buckets. You know what I'm saying? So I have the money in different buckets, and I've allocated certain things. And then there's certain things I have a part of my support the Jake Asman show budget. I have my go to the football games with Jake Asman budget. You know, it's a wazy, it's wazy.
So in your budget, you have money for super chats? Am I following this
Yes,
correctly?
yes, I set that up, and I'm like, hey, okay, so I can, and I'll spend like on a monthly basis. I'm like, all right, sometimes I'll put it all in one show, especially when I'm doing the gifting of memberships and stuff like that, because I get hyped up. Everybody else is doing it, you know. It's like, you know, I give into the peer pressure, and then I give memberships. That's how it works.
This is very funny. Look, I appreciate it, but you could have just sent a Venmo or a Zelle and paid off your ticket. It says like $30 on the show today.
So here's the thing. No, but see, that's extra. I already got you taken care of. That's gonna be all set. but I got my Venmo is all jacked up, so I think I'm gonna just go ahead and try to redo it. It says something about I had left it alone and I hadn't used it in like months, and then I went back to it the other day. I think when you mentioned it, it's like, oh yeah, you could just Venmo me, and I was like, I think I forgot that I had it, and I went in and I was like, oh damn. There had been things that had come out of my Venmo account from like months ago that I didn't even know about, and I was like, okay, so it was like inactive, so I had to activate it. It said your account's frozen, you have to wait, and I'm like, well, how long do I have to wait? It's been about a week and a half, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna have to Zelle Jake because the Venmo ain't happening.
Zell works, Trey. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We have your second ticket reserved.
Yep, and I got you all squared away. What do you call it? But yeah, I saw that Carly was on. I mentioned to Carly she missed the super chat and she told me to send it again. That's why I sent it now so she could see it. So Carly, what's up? How you doing, love?
Hi.
I need two shoes. I need home and away shoes. Okay, that's what I need. My birthday's at the end of this month. So I don't know the kind of time frame it is. I only need them for week 3, the home opener. I'm gonna have my home show. You have the home shoes ready. Like if it has to go, like if you're doing them at the same time, great. But if not, the home shoes are the priority. So I get those, go on my outfit for week 3, and then the Texans game. I could wear that to the Texans game where Jake has got my reserve ticket, but I gotta pay for it. So I can't do. I'm not allowed to do any more super chats or any more messages or anything until I get that first.
I don't like where this is headed, Trey. You can't buy hundreds of dollars in shoes before you pay off your ticket.
Exactly.
And then you need to have super chat money in the budget as well. So I don't like what's happening here.
I will put you in charge. I will put you in charge, Jake. You're now my financial advisor to keep me advised. I won't be able to go to anything. Jake won't let me.
Trey, we got to save money for like your hospital bills too. I mean, the Jets have already given you 2 heart attacks in your life. We can't afford a third.
This is true. But if it happens on the field, then I can, it comes out of the insurance for MetLife. So, if we can make that happen where it happens at the stadium, then they're on the hook. It's their insurance money. So we can make an insurance claim. And then we could get Carly's Kicks, that franchise and set off so we can start having Carly's Kicks by Carly in different cities, but only where the Jets play. If the Jets don't play there, we can't go there.
J-Quest says, Dre's spending $1,000 to make it to the Long Island meetup. Are you actually coming next week?
Yeah, because I'm going to be in the city next week. So I was going to tell you if you want to meet up at Penn Station and take the LIRR, but J-Quest said he's going to pick me up from the train station. So, yeah, I'll be coming from Manhattan on the LIRR.
Dre, your financial situation is fascinating, to say the least. Thanks for the time.
It's in the Jake Asman budget. He just told you.
Yeah, it's in the budget. We allocate line items. This is important. Like my 401k gets so much, but we gotta be up at Jake Asman's first, then maybe some money left over for Jet stuff, and then maybe like stuff if my kids needs food or something like that, they come after that.
Well, Dre, thank you for the time.
Peace out.
All right. Carly's up next. She was on hold, so we figured if Trey was going to ask about Carly's shoe business, we would just bring them together.
My ears were ringing, so I jumped in the
Yes.
yard. Yeah, we can make home and away shoes happen. I know somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody emailed me and said they were an Asman show viewer and they were asking about the new logo. I'll figure something out. We don't need to use the old logo if you don't want to use the old logo. Or if you want to use like the old vintage logo, we can do whatever you want.
Well, the ones you made for me just say Jets on them, like in the lettering. It doesn't even have like the now old logo on it.
Well, somebody asked for the new logo, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We could do the new logo. We could do vintage. We could do whatever you want. You want to put a player's number on them, go for it. I wouldn't do that, but you can.
What player number would you put on Jet sneakers?
I wouldn't.
If you had to pick a number.
I wouldn't pick a number. I'm not I support the team as a whole.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a favorite player anymore. They're all gone.
Your favorite player was Joe Flacco previously, correct?
Yeah, and after that it was Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
I got no one left.
Sorry to hear that. You strike me as an Olu Fashanu fan, though. I could see you being a big fan of him.
Huge fan.
Yeah, you like the guys who are on the trenches, protecting the quarterback.
Totally.
Yep.
You got it.
Anything else on your mind that you called in?
I had something to say now. I don't remember what it was. So
great.
That's not ideal. They want a poll about my hair.
Do you have any thoughts on your hair?
I don't know. Some of them say I'm better as a brunette. That's not so nice.
I don't think you. When were you a brunette?
I don't know, like high school.
Yeah, since I've known.
Well, they're all thinking because it was grown out. I had an appointment last week, so it was like more brown on the top.
Yeah. Well, it looks great. Keep up the great work.
I can't show you the shoes. Whoever just asked, I don't have them. I don't have a pair of Jets shoes of my own. I don't know if you have a picture of them, but go to kicksbycarly.com. You can see the shoes there.
There it is. There's the plug.
Well, somebody's asking about it.
That's fine. We'll allow it.
Thank you. It's so kind of you.
It is.
Shit, I had something to ask. I don't know. I was watching the show and I had this Spectrum guy here fixing my internet.
And you made him an Asmaniac?
He's a big fan of yours.
Love it.
I heard
All
he's
right.
coming to the meetup.
He'll be there next Thursday. All right, hold on. I know what we need to do.
Well, you know I can't wear my freaking hat. It's hot, my balls will sweat. Oh, look, I have a fan on Bobby.
God, that's a 6'1". Holy crap. I just got a hat here, Carly. I'm sorry. I cut my hair.
It's okay. I said earlier that seeing you without a hat on is like seeing a dog walk on his hind legs. It's like
that
out of
good
the
or-
ordinary.
Is that good or bad?
It's just different.
I like a hair like that. That
Thank
looks
you.
sexy. That looks sexy.
Thanks, Bobby.
I think. So I heard Jake has a date with you on Tuesday.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that true?
huge
Is that
date.
true?
It sounds like the Asmaniacs are crashing.
Is that true?
Is it true that we have a date?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Are you
Yeah.
crashing, Bob? I told you it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanted to see if it's true.
He's not lying.
All right. Good. I hope it works out good for you two. You guys make a good couple.
Oh yeah, totally.
Where you gonna take her? Where you gonna treat her to? What? Italian?
Let's not publicize that.
We're going to Chili's, Bobby. We're gonna get triple
Ew,
dips.
Chili's?
Yeah.
Take her to Italian. You
Olive
like
Garden?
No.
Sbarro's? What do you
No,
think?
The one that what's his name suggests to go? Craig.
Sbarro's?
What's that called?
Sbarro's?
Yeah. No, not that one. The one Craig goes to. The nicest.
Craig doesn't live in this country.
I know, but he went to an Italian restaurant when he was.
Yeah, he
down
went
there.
to Olive Garden, Times Square.
No, Olive Garden.
No, all right.
Okay, but I hope you date works. I think you make a good.
What about Applebee's, Bobby? You were just there with your daughter.
Yeah,
last week.
Applebee's. You like Applebee's, Carly?
I don't think I've been there since like high school.
But my daughter loves it, so I take her out a lot over there. So where's Ace today? Sleeping?
No, he's on Long Island today.
What's
I'm
he
in
doing
Sydney.
on Long Island?
He lives there, but like I go back and forth. He comes back and
Oh.
forth, but I'm busy the next 2 days.
Okay,
so.
how much are your shoes cost? I want to know.
I don't know offhand. I would
Oh.
need to look that up. Because
Okay,
it depends on the design of what you're asking for.
Oh, okay. So Carly, what's it called? Carly Kicks?
Kicks by Carly.
K-I, how you spell it?
KICKS.
Oh, okay.
CARLY.
We'll save the rest of this chat for the Bobby show. This is more the Bobby Zoom meeting.
Yeah, you want to come on my show soon? I'm at my Zoom meeting. You want to come on?
Of course.
Yeah, you could come on anytime you want.
Sure.
Yeah, Bobby.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
open. Yeah, we got everybody on there, right? We had Gator on last night. He was taking over for me.
Of
While I
course.
get my mouse on the floor.
Well, you know I can't wear my freaking hat. It's hot, my balls will sweat. Oh, look, I have a fan on Bobby.
I heard that's your favorite intro for Bobby. Yeah, Carly, is that true?
It's the best.
Yeah, I figured you'd be on board with that one.
How many more memberships till we get a Carly emoji?
A lot.
Okay, how many until you get the next emoji?
I have to look that up, but I mean, we're still ways away.
Okay, well, somebody should gift some memberships so then I could read the names. While I'm here.
All right. Well, so stay on hold, and if someone does give memberships, you could read the names.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
Mike D's nuts. Get on it. Wait,
Right.
I also saw my membership is going to expire in a few days, so I hope somebody gives it another one.
Or how about this for a concept? You could hit the join button and you could pay $4.99 a month.
Sure.
Yep.
That's
all right. Well, you stay on hold. Thanks for the time. All right. Also, I saw Mike said how many tickets are available. We are sold out on tickets for the Texans game. Should someone back out, check the Discord, and we could probably have people exchange tickets once they get them themselves, Mike. But we are at capacity. We got 113 tickets, and that's the plan. Now, once we officially get the tickets from the Jets, and I think we're in section 128 and 129, once we officially get that, we'll share that information when it's official. So if people who maybe just want to buy tickets last second and sit near us, they can. Brian is up next on the show. What's up, Brian?
Hey, how you doing, bud?
What's up, Brian? Long time no talk.
I know I've been working like crazy. It's moving season. So, no, I just wanted to say I'm really interested on how the Jets are going to handle this whole Hassan Reddick thing because, before Joe Douglas, it was like the Jets would always cave. They would always give in. They'd always overpay for free agents. And it seems like Joe D, ever since he got here, he's not the bargain shopper, but he's also, he has been, but he's also not the one that he's making it known to the NFL that, hey, we're not going to give you what you want to come here. You're going to come here and play, and we're going to give you what's reasonable. And if not, there's the door. And so it's just interesting to me that it was always like from Jump Street, hey, I'm going to play out my last, year. We're going to do the trade. Everything's good. I'll be there for mandatory. And next, he doesn't show. And I have a feeling that Joe D is going to be playing hardball because he's not going to want to go back to what Tannenbaum used to do and all them, giving in and giving whatever it takes just to get it done. Because I have a feeling if it was Tannenbaum, it would be, hey, here's a 2-year contract, $40-50 million or whatever, kick the can down the road and just get him into camp to avoid the storylines.
Well, I look at it like this. I don't think they're going to give him a huge contract. I could see them tacking on a year potentially. I also could see them guaranteeing his salary and adding incentives for him to make more money and even saying, hey, we'll let you be a free agent at the end of this year without having to worry about us tagging you. Like they'll put it in there so he could truly be an unrestricted free agent. I don't think they're going to give him like a Von Miller deal. You know what I mean? Like I think Douglas is going to be very patient here because ultimately Hassan Reddick's not going to miss regular season games. He needs to play so he can put up stats to get paid, if not by the Jets, then by somebody next year.
Well, correct. And that was my point is that when you look at Joe D, whether it came to the Aaron Rodgers trade or it came to, anything, he hasn't been the impulsive one to jump the gun and just, make a trade and make something happen or, just a situation like that. He's always been the kind of let's sit back and see things unfold and then make a decision from there. And that's one thing that I like about our general manager is he is patient. He's willing to play poker. He's willing to put on his poker face and call your bluff. And if he loses, he loses.
I think at the end of the day, it's a story because he obviously missed mandatory minicamp, but it's not something I'm concerned about on June 12th. I think they'll come to some sort of solution and Reddick will be there when training camp starts.
You come August, September, now it's an issue, now it's a story.
Correct.
So, but we're way too early for this. So, hey, it was nice talking again. Nice seeing you. And you take it easy, all right?
Ryan, keep killing it, man. You are a legend.
Thank you.
Good to hear from the great Ryan King, who connected me with a phenomenal moving company when I was trying to move from Houston back to the city a couple of months ago. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Mike D's Nuts just gifted 20 memberships after he already gifted 5 memberships. And then before that, Jetted Out gifted another 5 memberships. I just checked. We needed 14 channel members to hit a 33rd emoji. We are well over that. So first, here's what I need to do. I need to play this, and then we'll bring on Carly to read 25, 30 names.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Real. Jetted out 5. Mike D's Nuts 25. Holy hell. All right. A promise is a promise. Carly, your reading skills better be on point. 25 names you have to now read.
I'm ready, but I'm just scrolling to get to them. So please bear with me for 1 second.
All right, we'll do Jetted Out first.
Is it just Mike D's Nuts, or there was another one you said?
Jetted Out above Mike D's Nuts. 5 channel memberships. I'll give you the first one just so you know where to look.
Okay.
Michael L. Look for Michael L. That's where it starts.
I see Mike L. Carly, could you do Joker and Batman AF1s? Okay, wait. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. Okay, the first 5 are from Jetted Out. Michael L., Kevin Zwicker, Googly, Johnny and Enz Dio. Please send your regards to Jetted Out. Thank that person for your Jake Asman channel membership. Now the rest are from Cloud's favorite, Mike D's Nuts. Oh, I thought that was my computer. I just got nervous.
No,
okay.
I was playing a jet chat. All right, yes. Now we're on to you have 25 names to read. The first 5, Mike D's Nuts, and then another 20.
I got it. I can read, I think. Jonathan Rapp, Ben44, Victor Gomez, Christopher Pegoli, Leaf King, hope it's not the Toronto Maple Leafs, losers, Mean Street MMA, Faceless Man, DF, Andrea and Eric Caros, Charles McCoppin, Hojo, Big Head, Parrish again, Greg Perry, Louis Garcia, Philippe Lima, Matt Lowe, Kyle Logan, King Terzi, D. Santana, Joe Laughlin, Celestial TCG, JB, Jonathan Rapp, Brian J. Please thank Mike D's Nuts for your Asmaniac channel membership.
And you know what, Carly? I feel like when you spend the kind of money Mike D's Nuts just spent for this audience, you have to play this again.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts. But that's not all, Carly, because while you were reading the list of names, ladies and gentlemen, Addison gifted another 5 channel memberships.
I don't see them yet.
Come on, Addison, 5 memberships.
It didn't come through on my thing yet. Oh, okay. Sorry. I missed it. I was too busy reading about myself because I'm self-centered. Okay. It's Juicer, Mafra, Bernard Canonigo. Sorry, I fucked that up. Emmanuel Strother.
Language, family show.
Pablo Villasana. You were all gifted memberships by Addison. Congratulations and welcome to the Asmaniacs. Please make sure you say thank you and pay it forward to somebody else.
You said your membership expires when?
I don't know. I looked at it the other day. It said a couple of days.
Wow. Crazy. All right. Stay on hold in case more come in. All right.
Send more.
All right. Thank you very much. Keep it rolling here. Let's go to Thomas. He's up next. Hello, Thomas.
Hey, Jake. How you doing?
Thomas, what's going on?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the whole Reddick thing, and obviously we got to see how things play out. It's too early to say how things go, but I'm just thinking back how I kind of just wish we had kept Huff in the first place. I mean, every year he was getting better, and looking at what he signed for and how it hit their salary cap, you know, back a few months ago, when we found out how it was hitting the Eagles salary cap, we're thinking it would have been nice to just keep him. Then when we got Reddick, look, he's even better. But I agree with what you said. We might have him for 1 year, but will we be able to have him for more than 1 year? Whereas Huff is only, I think, 26. And, you know, every year he's getting better and better. So we could have possibly gotten quite a few good years out of him. I mean, we're looking at this year as a must-win year, but what about next year? And, you know, we got to look at the next few years and not just 1 year. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But
yeah, but Thomas, you got to worry about this year first, because this regime is not going to care about the next couple of years if they don't win this year. And Reddick's a better player than Huff. The mistake with Huff was made not extending him before last year started, At that point, they weren't going to pay him. That became obvious. They rather Redick be on a short-term deal because they know that they're going to have to pay all the young guys that we gloat about on this team. So, like, can they extend Redick? I think they could. They give themselves the opportunity to do it, but I don't think they viewed Bryce Huff like he was someone they needed to keep at all costs. They don't view Bryce Huff the way they view Sauce, Garrett Wilson, etc. And I think for 1 year, you can't tell me that Redick is not a better player than Huff.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a better player coming into this season. He should be the better of the two. Do you think, I mean, I agree with most of that. Do you think that, if they haven't bothered extending him yet, or if they don't bother extending him by the end of this, leading into the season by August, do you think they will extend him, or do you think he'll probably just be a 1-year player at that point?
My feeling right now is that they give him incentives, guarantee his salary, and he is a free agent at the end of next year. Now, they might be able to pay him. I'm not saying he's one and done with the Jets, but I don't think he's getting a multi-year extension. That's my feeling right now.
All right, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all plays out.
I appreciate it, Thomas. Thanks for the call.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
You too. You too. All right, we bring Carly back on. More memberships need to be read. All right, Carly, here we go. But first, a super chat from Craig who says, Carly, I know I look and sound like Chris Hemsworth, but I have Mrs. Craig. Sorry. Also, make Jake take you to Resdora on 20th Street. The best. Bang! Bang! Thank you, Craig. Craig in Australia checking in.
You can put that $5 Australian towards our dinner.
Craig, I'll bring this to the date on Tuesday, all right? Got to have my boomerang on me at all times. All right. Luppy, who called in earlier, he's gifted 5 channel memberships. Luppy, good job out of you, man. Way to pay it forward. Here we go. All right. Luppy's 5 memberships. You have the names.
Ready. Luppy, thank you. We appreciate you. Abhimanyu Mutharasan, Andrea Malone. This one is not in English, so I'm really sorry, but I can't read it. Your icon is the Apple logo. Congratulations. Zachary Jennings and Unknown Error. You have all been gifted memberships by Luppy. Please say thank you to Luppy and enjoy the next month of being an Asmaniac.
Tremendous. All right. Let's see. Rex Ryan writes in, what time is Love Sessions with Bobby midnight today? When I'm not live, Bobby is. That's the programming schedule. That's how this works. And look, you never know what you're going to get with the Bobby show. The bottom line is it's a show of all shows. Right, Carly? You've been on the show.
Oh, huge fan of the Bobby Midnight Experience. The other day it popped up on my home screen. It was like been live for 18 hours. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah. So it's quite the program.
Totally.
Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. We did not. All right. Thank you for your service. Job well done. Stay on hold. All right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is one of the all-time greats. And I say this and then do this.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Bones.
Jake, my brother. What's up, baby?
How we doing? No Aldens today?
No, Wednesdays and Fridays are normally my days off. I'm cooking it right now. You wait till I get on to talk to me. I know how it is. So, man, if I'm a pretty good businessman, and I think if I was to ever make my own YouTube channel, I'd probably collab with Carly. These guys are, this is like amazing. It's like, let's just let her read all these. We could be here for 2 hours. Let's keep letting her read all the super chats. This is like.
Sorry, I'm just fanning myself with all the money I've made today, Bonesy.
Hell yeah, baby. Oh God. Well, to my Jets take,
hold on, I have money to pay Redick now. Good job, Jet fans. Let's figure this out.
Oh, and shout out to Gator for yesterday. It was hilarious rewatching it when we were live. It was like a stand-up comedian just ripping off the top. It was really. And Bobby, if you watch it again, just stare at Bobby and listen to Gator. Don't look at anyone else but Bobby. He's like, because he takes the headset off and he's sweeping and talking to himself and singing.
Are you talking about the clip I played earlier?
Bobby, I've been thinking about this. Yeah. This is less about being your show, and it's more like a Zoom call, and you're the moderator.
I'm not saying Bruno wasn't good. He was pretty good.
Okay, we talked about 3 hours of boxing yesterday. I'm sick of boxing. Shut up. No.
You start a Zoom call, and then it gets flooded with all these people that are talking, and you sit there, and every now and then you tell people to shut up.
Yeah.
and let this guy talk.
Yeah, well, you got to let the new people come on.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
There's no actual format.
Yeah.
We're opening up the show, and here's what we're going to talk about. You're just like, it's Zoom meeting time. Let's go. Get everybody in there. And bloop, 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 bloop.
I know.
That's boxing, and it's like, I'm getting high, and it's like, oh, Carly's hot, and it's like, Bobo, and I'm doing drugs. And it's good. This is awesome, man. You know what the problem is that if I miss a show and I see it's like 5.5 hours long, I'm like, oh, I love you, man, but I can't give you 5.5 hours a day.
But wait, there's more.
Where'd the host of this show go?
Oh, he just walked off. He didn't say shit.
My mouse fell off the table, guys. I'll be right back, okay?
Who should take over for you while you're gone as the host?
Well, Gator could. Gator.
Okay.
Everybody shut up. Let the lake talk. The lake hasn't had a chance to talk yet. Everybody shut up. What's up, Lake? Bobby, the last time I dropped a mouse, it only took 30 seconds for me to pick it up, not 3 hours.
I know.
Is that your biggest fan behind you there?
Get the happy talk.
Have you ever sat on that lawn chair, that orange shitty lawn chair? If a child sat on that chair, it would fall right through it. You're holding on to that thing with a dear life, expecting someday you're going to sit on that chair, and it ain't going to fucking happen. Throw that chair in a dumpster before it sets itself on fire. I think your mouse ran out of the room, and it's being chased by a cat. Tom and Jerry. That's what's happening.
I gotta move it back a little bit more.
Bobby, I'll give you $75 if you put that chair that you usually sit on over in the back and sit on the lawn chair instead for 3 weeks. $75. And it'll be a super chat, so you'll get only 70% of it. And then Peter Castro's going to send you $500. You're going to have to give most of it back. Welcome to the Bobby Show. We're on hour 17.
Can't reach.
Hopefully Jake doesn't have another show in the next 3 weeks, because I'm going to keep this shit going.
It's down there. Yeah, there we go. Finally.
Now I understand why it was going to take Bobby 3 weeks to find his mouse.
Man, it was
There's a dungeon below him. A dungeon with a alien and Alan's relatives live below his feet.
Oh.
You know, if you turn that fan on every now and then, Bobby, you might smell a little bit better. When was the last time you rode that broom?
Got it. I am back. I'm back.
Good thing I got you the headset, because you can't hear a goddamn word I'm saying.
And now where is everybody? All right, I found my dumb
Hey,
mouse.
Bobby, how you doing? Yeah, we were talking Jets. So we think that if Rodgers is out another day, that there might be a problem. So we're
No,
kind of hoping
come
that
on,
Rodgers
give
is
the
back
guy a
tomorrow.
break. He gave up 35
Yeah, I
minutes.
know. I'm just all out of Jet Talk, guys. Thank you for letting me host the show for 35 minutes there, Bobby. I appreciate it.
That wasn't 35 minutes. That's like 5
Well,
minutes.
a fucking mouse disappeared, and you a week later you come back, but that's okay. All right,
You're a
good
legend.
night, guys. Have a sweet.
The Bobby Midnight Show, everybody.
Oh God! And even when he's live, he still has Alan and Bobby shooting Alan rolling. All right. Well, my kids are not letting me talk. But all right, guys, do a jet chant. Let's go. Just get it. JETS. Oh, hold on. Let me get Rex some. Let me get my dog Rex some.
Oh, Rex Ryan. Yes.
Rexy, look at the camera, bro. He's an old man, but he's young at heart. He's still got it.
Does Rex lick feet?
What?
Does Rex lick feet?
Rex loves licking feet.
Yeah.
We put peanut butter on the feet. we just let him go to town.
Love it. Love it. Bonesy, thank you for the call.
All right, fellas.
All right. Wonderful. Last chance. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's see. Gator wants to know, Bonesy, how many shoes do you have to sell to get an iPhone? Amen to that. Amen. Let's see. Carly says someone gift more memberships so I could read again. Memberships or super chats? We'll have Carly read it, and then we'll wrap here. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. JT says Bobby's show always a great time. Oh, it's awesome. It is fantastic. Clancy says, how was Jake and Carly's date last night? No, that wasn't me last night. I did hear it was an abject disaster, though. I'm just going to leave it at that. Just saying. All right. No comment on anything else. Let's see. Jay says, make Greg Zuerlein the spokesperson for Kicks by Carly. Best kicker in the league. L34 says, half the fans heard about peanut butter and want the dog over it. You got some guys with some issues in here. I'm not sure what you mean. Gator says, let Carly read the upcoming Bobby show schedule. Live 24/7, unless Jake is also live. And then we pause and then go right back live again. Dre says, I missed his super chat. Oh, you're out. You know what I did? Carly, you ready?
I'm ready. But
all right, super. Go ahead.
Where do I see it? Oh,
I put
I'm
it on the
finishing
screen.
Jake and Carly's date on Tuesday. Okay, see you there, Dre.
Olive Garden, Times Square, Dre. All right.
No, Margaritaville, Times Square. We're going for a swim.
Be ready to have a lot of breadsticks. All right, because we're going all out.
Oh yeah.
Peter wants to know, Bonesy, if he could dog sit for you. Yes. Let's see. I think we're out of luck, Carly. I don't think you're generating any more super chats. That's it.
Come on, guys. Even one more person. No one
Or
wants
memberships. Nothing. Also, what would a Carly emoji look like, by the way?
I don't know. It should just be an ace emoji. Like I don't need to be. I don't know. Nobody's gonna use my emoji.
Neil's dog, Duke, great dog, called in today as well.
That's nice. I missed the morning show. Sorry, I was busy.
Man, tough. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Carly.
Somebody just said you're getting me gas station pizza. Let's not do that.
Sunoco gas station pizza. What are your thoughts on Gary's food takes? Would you enjoy a nice meal with Gary?
I think Gary has really bad food takes, and I'm a very picky eater, but I think his takes are not good.
So you would put chicken with your pasta?
I have eaten pasta with chicken many times before, yes.
And you would prefer an item from either McDonald's, Wendy's, or Burger King before you would eat gas station pizza?
Yes, but I don't eat fast food very often. But if given the choice, yeah, I would probably choose I would get like fries.
Thank you.
But I would not dip them.
Craig with a super chat. You could read it.
Double date in September. Yes, let's do it. When in September? My calendar's starting to fill up already.
Oh, you're so busy.
I have a lot of weddings and bachelorette parties and bridal showers. Yeah, it's rough out here.
September 19th, New York Jets home opener, Craig. See you there. Can't wait. All right, Carly. Well done. Thank you for reading the names.
Bye.
Farewell. What a show. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Reminder, if you tuned in late, Nick Faria was on our show for 35 minutes recapping today's mandatory minicamp. So if you want a breakdown from someone who was at both the practices this week, check it out if you tuned in late. Once again, thank you to everyone who watched today's show. Luppy says, not because of Carly, but Jake, you the man. Good luck. Luppy, appreciate you. Nice job donating the memberships. Anyway, that does it. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. A lot of fun. We will be back tomorrow. Obviously, the fallout from the Reddick situation will continue. Maybe we find out where Rodgers is and the media makes it a bigger deal than it obviously actually is, and much more. Plus, it's important to note, today was the final practice until 40 days from now when training camp starts. So we've kind of reached that period now where the NFL goes a little quiet. So it'll be interesting to see what this channel does with some of the content between now and the start of training camp. So once again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. This was a lot of fun. Working on some big name guests for next week, so stay tuned on that. We've got a lot still cooking on this channel, and if you want to find out before the general public on that and much more, once again, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Thanks again to everyone for their support. I'll talk to you guys soon. JETS, 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 Jets.
You guys know when the Lane train calls in, this show could go anywhere, so buckle up. What's up, Lane Kerner?
Zach Wilson is not going to come back. Why don't you think he's going to sign still with the Jets? Is it because he's not good?
He stinks!
Oh, stinks? Yeah, same feeling.
The guy is terrible!
I said announce the draft picks.
Lane, I want you to announce a Jets pick. That would make my
Yeah,
life.
I mean, who am I going to pick, though, for the draft? On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to Knoble out of college. Then they tell you who the players are from, and their families get excited. You sign him, he's to be good going into week 1. Yeah, I know a lot of the football.
That was amazing. I love you, Lane. You're the best. What a draft pick. Lane, you are a national treasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cheats Fan. Now, for those who are unaware, Cheats Fan broke the news to us that he's currently mowing lawns for a living.
I wasn't going to work retail. I worked at Walmart for part-time. I'm not going to be in there when some crazy-ass white person wants to set some shit on fire, and then the guy sets the guy on fire. I wonder why there's a fire truck at Walmart. I'm like, oh, that crazy fucker actually did it.
Bonesy writes in, Jake, I gave Bobby the rights to make decisions on Alden shoes. Maybe Bobby can interview Cheats Fan for me.
It's time for a Bobby job interview.
Are you into shoes at all?
I watched enough of Al Bundy to know about basic shoe stuff and
let me measure your chest.
Looked into shoe stuff, and my friends would always have the newest pair of Jordans while I was sitting there with $35 Dr. Scholl's not giving a damn what people said.
Look at me.
Do you ever sell anything?
I would convince people like, oh, there's this new card product, go and buy it. Or like, I see you eyeing those plushies. One of their workers would always go, open the fire door and light up a joint.
If you worked at Alden's, what would you say to a customer?
Do you need any arch support? Would you like to purchase these shoes that are on sale? I wanted to be a Walmart greeter, but nowadays they give that to the elderly.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Bobby. Clean the cars, but they asked them, oh, they would do it anyway.
Times when people would, there's times when people would be in the hood.
Cheats Fan, you got the job. Bonesy already wrote in. Cheats Fan, you're hired.
Perfect. But the thing is, as a 13-year-old, I was cleaning cars better than the people who work at the car cleaning places because.
Well, Bobby, excellent job. Thank you for your service.
No problem.
You go back to your lawn chair now, Bobby. What a show, folks. You won't find this anywhere else.